Josh, are you disappointed as much as I'm disappointed in this opposition party?
I think they need to collect past question from the APC because obviously they lack people with foresight, like Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They lack a central figure. Everybody is arguing for the first place spot. They just have a disarray. To say I'm disappointed in the current opposition is an understatement.
What's the so-called IReV debate about the real-time transmission thing? What is it noise about?
I think one of the things that I think people do not consider is that many of these people that are clamoring for this live in Lagos and other big states. They have forgotten that there are a lot of states that do not have as good enough network as those kind of states. And even in those states, there are still some network issues that happens.
There's a kind of backdoor to it when and if the network fails. If the network fails, we kind of fall back to what it used to be, which means the physical paper will be the binding result at that time.
Josh, what do you think about the new spending limit?
If you are saying 10 billion is the cap, like saying that if you don't get up to this, you can't even do it.
Because your opponent will use it up.
We use it up. The opposition is not even about what's right. Exactly. It's not about what's good for the citizen. That's not the point. It's about opposing the people in power.
Anonymous donor can now donate 100. Entities can donate up to 500 million or something like that. This is money laundering in broad daylight. People can now move money through political parties.
The entire business of political parties is an instrument of money.
Exactly. The problem I'm having in particular here is that why are all of this not tabled by the opposition? I genuinely believe we are going through the worst time in Nigeria political history. It is so horrible I can feel the taste of its sourness on my tongue. Because where are the opposition party? Nigeria election is in how many days from now? And we cannot feel the energy of some opposing party at play. Imagine, we have a new Electoral Act, and all we could see people in media talking about is the fact that there is not real-time transmission of results to IReV. As in, is that the only problem here in this bill, in this new act? Is that the only new thing that was introduced? Or we are saying that this shortage or shortness of time, or this non-revoking of person based on their failed presentation of certificate, or the fact that there are now new rooms for dark money are not worthy of discourse? Well, if the opposition are not doing the job, we are here to discuss the dictates of the new Electoral Act and what is it that the Nigerians ought to know about how 2027 election will be conducted. With me, I have with Josh Tracy, the elder political mind and law student at Colorado University. Right in front of me is John Wills, the CEO of Magnus Media. I have Mr. Dan Smith, the aspiring law student, but political science, certified political scientist.
Give it up.
With 12 months of NYSC service at the Nigerian Correctional Center. And of course, the laughing guru, the law student at University of Ibadan. And this guy that we have been warning about HIV in UI, that he will not listen to us. Ladies and gentlemen, let's dive into it. Having put all of those banters in between. My name is Alan Jobs, you know me. And today, I want to explore the Nigeria Electoral Act 2026, I think. And what is there for us to know, apart from the rant on the internet about real-time transition of whatever. Josh, are you disappointed as much as I'm disappointed in this opposition party?
Am I disappointed? Yes, I'm disappointed.
First of all, who are they, safe? Do we even have opposition party?
The party not in power is meant to be the opposition party.
Okay.
But then I think they need to collect past question from the APC.
Okay.
Because obviously they lack the likes of Lai Mohammed.
Now you're going to lie.
You know, he's speaking prowess, the charging. Once he handles mic like this that time, Jonathan is already shivering in his office. And then they lack people with foresight, like Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that's currently the president. They lack people with that kind of patience. You know, Atiku wants to be the president. Right now, they don't have a consensus of who will be their
I think
candidate.
They also lack an organizer, you know, because
They lack an organizer, a central figure like Buhari that was the central piece during the. Everybody's arguing for the first place spot. Amechi wants to be president. Atiku wants to be president. Their Oga, suppose Oga, wants to be president. Obi wants to be president. Kwakwanso just joined them. He too, what will he want to become? Who else? They just have a disarray. They don't know exactly what they are doing. And that wasn't the case in the APC. That was why it was clear that Buhari will be the front runner. In fact, people were expecting that maybe Tinubu will be the deputy. But Tinubu even gave up his slot so that it won't cause issues with the likes of Saraki. And, he relinquished his slot to Oshibajo. So, they don't have people that can do those kind of things. So, to say I'm disappointed in the current opposition is an understatement. Utterly
flabbergasted and overwhelmed.
Give me another word, please.
Tracy, what's your position? This opposition party, we can see that they are fighting out, and especially in the case of the new Electoral Act, what have you observed that they are leaving behind? They are not discussing that they should be, apart from the fact that they are just shouting about the fact the president signed a bill into act in overnight or something. I think there are better things for us to discuss. Election is 2027. We shouldn't be spending another 2 years to sign a bill. So now it's done, Let's discuss the real problem. Let's discuss what people should know. What are the things that you have come to be aware that, they are in this bill and we are not discussing?
I think one of the most interesting one is the cap for presidential election spending. Abi?
Yeah.
I think there's a cap. And
The new
fact
spending
that,
limit.
the new spending limit. And the implications that a lot of people are not paying attention to. And even apart from that, there are new things that have been introduced clearly, apparently, that were not in Nigeria, and that kind of even go against existing precedents. Like in the situation of when poll is going on, and somebody and one of the candidates dies.
That's section 34.
Yeah. What happens now is that the INEC will call off the the election. Then the VP is going to step in as we suspend the election rather, not even call it. The VP will step in as the new candidate. Unlike if you remember the decision in the case of former governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello. He stepped in because even though the man died while poll was ongoing, who was Abaka Audu, what happened was that the party had to go and bring up someone else to be the candidate, not even the running mate. So it is kind of, so these are things that are entirely different.
These are substantial changes.
Yeah, that people should be talking about.
These bar precedents, and that we need to talk about it. Is it logical? Is it correct? Is it sound?
Another thing is the way the days are being shortened. Like things are being rushed. That's how I feel about it. Like, why do we need to rush things? Why do we need to submit all our members 21 days to primaries? Maybe we should question those things. Why do we need to leave the previous way it was being done, since these are not really related to rigging and vote buying and whatever we used to have problems. So maybe we should have problems with those things, but no. People having issues with direct transmission when they are not voting electronically. They are voting physically, and they expect there to be I believe
a lot of people don't understand some of this one. We need to take one by one, right? So let's start with the common thing that they all have discussed. What do you understand by the IReV debate, John? What's the so-called IReV debate about the real-time transmission thing? What are they trying to? What is the noise about?
So they want things to be digitalized.
Okay.
Actually, people that are
in what
clamoring
sense?
for it, in the sense that
And we are still voting physically, right?
yes,
Okay.
the voting is still physical, but they want, as soon as a vote is being counted at the
Real time.
polling unit, it should be updated real time online so that everybody will be able to see it. So I think
Real time as how?
real time, that is, as soon as it is being done, as soon as the
Is it after the vote has been counted or while it is being counted?
No,
No.
after
after the vote,
after-
after the
person
counting.
votes.
After everybody must have voted,
Mhm.
right? The collation officer will collate the results
Mhm.
and count it. Once the party agent certified it,
Mhm.
they will transmit the results
To the
to INEC.
So what is the provision of the act?
Is at the discretion of the INEC
Mhm.
to determine how they, transmit the election results.
So
So what they want is that it should be like live scores.
at
by
that
mandatory.
center.
Like as
But-
the votes are counted.
But have they considered the fact that there are network glitches? You know?
Yes.
Nigeria still don't have all that network coverage, and maybe that's it. Because I remember one of the rules of law, one of the tenets of law is that laws are created in general terms. They are
Yes.
created to give so that we don't have to create too much exception. They are created so that they can be open bred, they can have life, they can breathe. Right? Maybe that's the reason, that's the justification for this law.
I think
you
one
know,
of
to
the
be-
things that I think people do not consider is that many of these people that are clamoring for this live in Lagos and other big states.
Mhm.
They are forgotten that there are a lot of states that do not have as good enough network as those kind of states. And even in those states, even in those Lagos, there are still some
Even
glitches.
places within
There are
that
even-
place,
there are still some network issues that
Exactly.
happens.
I think we did NCC in our KDU lower
Yeah.
introduction information,
Yeah,
and
ICT law.
I think that ICT law. There's a particular class where I was trying to correct the
Right.
lecturer that that it's not just in rural area that they have problem. So in some because they're underserved areas, so they're even in more in cities, even in advanced places, there are places that are underserved with network. For instance, now, if you go to Iwo Road, there are some network that would not go in Iwo Road. That is the center of Ibadan. I think it's the Glow to be specific.
Yes.
It will almost not connect to anything. I don't know why. Maybe they don't have a pole there. They don't have anything. It will not go. So now, if we are forcing that, what's it called? That there should be real-time transmission. We are putting some unnecessary bottleneck on the electoral officers who handle it. Although there's a clear argument of it gives more room or more window for rigging or whatever too. So how do we speak to that?
I think there's a kind of backdoor to it.
Mm-hmm.
When and if the network fails.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think if the network fails, we kind of fall back to what it used to be,
Mm-hmm.
which means the physical paper will be the binding result at that time. The collation officer will have the onus will be on the collation officer to take the paper to the INEC office to submit it physically when the network does not work at that point in time.
Mm-hmm.
So that leaves us with the question that, okay, what if the network doesn't work?
And there's no such provision in the law, right?
Yes.
The provision allow that. Submit it, but the network not take it to the office. This is where we are already. Just one
The
session.
act says that it is at the discretion of the INEC chairman to determine how they want to transmit it. So the INEC chairman can say that, okay, we want to add electronic transmission as well as the actual one that we have. What the Constitution actually recognizes in recent is the EB8 form, or what was it called? The actual form that there's a polling agent for every party. There's an agent for each party. Each of them will sign that, okay, this is the actual result of the election. So all this one that people are saying is just sensational argument. They are not sound at the core. Because
now since they are not sound at the cost, let's leave that discussion for them. Because now this, I don't want these students to also be eating our time. They are more prevailing issues. They are more interesting issues to discuss. To be frank,
because when you walk in physically, not digitally,
to vote. Now we are arguing about whether it's digital. In fact, it's one of the easiest ways to hack into the system. If you have
even in US,
a good set of hackers.
In recent, is it real time? We waited time before they counted Pennsylvania.
So what are we talking about? So, but let's leave all those discussions. It's for people that don't understand how law works, what instrument of the law is about, and what we should try to attain with it. This is the template for how 2027 election will be handled. And then we should discuss all of the playing field. We don't look at one subject matter and start saying, that was a this thing. VAR should supposed to catch that one. When there are several other off-road, penalty and free kick and code are supposed to catch. Now, one of my mentors used to say that if the story doesn't make sense, follow the money. Let's quickly follow the money. How you mentioned briefly about it that there are new spending money.
Yeah.
How does this new act provide for the funding of election? What are the things that Nigerians should know about this new act and how you talk about spending limits earlier.
Yes.
Let's look into that a little bit. Josh, what do you think about the new spending limits? What's happening there?
By the letters of the law, what the law is saying that you cannot spend more than 10 billion naira for presidency.
For presidency.
And 3 billion naira for governorship.
Is it 3 or 5 billion for governorship?
I think it's 3.
I think it's 5 billion for governorship.
Can you confirm?
Uh-huh.
I think it's 3 billion for, and then there are several other numbers for each of the elective positions.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Governor is 1 billion.
Governorship is 3 billion.
3 billion, so 1 billion before. That's 2022 Electoral Act.
1 billion
now
before,
it's 3
it's moved
billion.
3 years.
Section 92 subsection 3.
And
So,
then presidency is
12.
10 billion. Yeah.
Mhm. So now, the question will be that since INEC doesn't have any real prosecutorial teeth
Mm-hmm.
to really enforce the 5 billion or 10 billion or 3 billion cap. So what's the essence of it? Now, another way to look at it is that if you are saying 10 billion is the cap,
Mm-hmm.
that's more like setting a threshold in real sense, because we know in real sense it's like setting threshold that if you don't get up to this, you can't even do it.
Because your opponent will use it up.
We use it up, and not just use it up, they will spend multiple of it, because INEC cannot even really track how they will use several funnels to finance the campaign. They can't track all of that. So this is in real sense, if we are talking as realists, this is like the minimum threshold.
That means they are just setting the.
They are just setting the threshold in real
Meaning
sense.
that if you don't have that much,
Because to be
then
frank, in the US, I don't think this is the case. They don't cap.
No, there's a
election
judgment that the Supreme Court held that there shouldn't be a tag
I think
or a
it's
cap
Buckley-
of
Buckley v.
Buckley v. I can't remember that there shouldn't be a cap on free speech.
Mm.
That was their argument, and then that you can spend.
Yeah,
as much
that's
as
again the
possible.
First Amendment right.
Yeah. The Kamala Harris administration, they spent close to $1.6 billion, at least over $1 billion in their own election.
Yeah,
So,
their campaign.
There's no really a cap. It's just individual contribution that there are caps to. But then in research, as much as possible.
So for someone out there that is aspiring to be a political candidate very soon, for myself that I want to be a state house of assembly member in 2031 and cool. What this is saying is that with the new playbook, I need at least 100 million for me to campaign. That's what the threshold look like now for state house of assembly.
At all, worst case
for
scenario.
me to worst case scenario.
And then it depends on the state. For instance, the state like Rivers State, it takes you 14 billion naira to lose an election of governorship, to lose, not to win.
Mm-hmm.
So if the person who lost the last election, which is this man, Tonyeko,
Yeah.
he came on interview
Yeah,
and then he said he
15 billion
spent almost 14 to 15 billion on the election and he lost. Now tell me how much installed the person, because there's so much logistic cost. There's so much. There's for you to actually have enough polling agents across.
Yeah,
That's
you
another
need to find
campaign
that.
all through the entire nooks and crannies of the state. It's just so expensive.
So now these are the real issue, and it's more like they are telling us that government of the people, by the people, and for the people is no longer the definition of democracy. It's the government of the elite, people that have big pockets,
people with means.
People with means.
Yeah.
And these are the topics that I think need to be brought to the table. And why is the opposition not talking about all of this? The new law, so which means that if there is going to be the new electoral act of 2030 or thereabout,
presidency should be 20 billion. Minimum.
20 or minimum or something like that again.
Yeah.
So what's happening? John wanted to say something.
I'm still talking about the opposition party because
Okay.
I feel like in this case, even if you do not strongly believe that that should not be the case, it is still it's a very easy way to weaponize the masses, because that is what the masses want to hear. That they are now removing you from, you cannot, a common man cannot rise to become a president. I think it's a very cheap narrative that could be used well.
Even if you get to power, you are going to do the same thing.
Exactly.
It's 2020.
I think that is what it takes to be an opposition party.
Exactly.
During-
To be a watchdog. In fact, I remember one of the feature of political parties to
Now,
be
when
a
we left for
watchdog.
government,
Exactly.
government
Exactly.
101.
During
Government, in secondary school,
during
be a watchdog.
Tinubu was out there screaming that the subsidy this thing was the removal of
Even though
subsidy
we
was not
remove
good.
it.
Even though
He's the first president that removed it successfully.
Truly.
Until now, we have removed it.
We have removed it. And Pedro is like 1,300.
So it's not about what's right. Opposition is not even about what's right. It's not about what's good for the citizen. That's not the point. It's about opposing
Almost
the people in
everything,
power.
every policy.
That's the
Let us
point.
see the other angle. Let's see the other perspective on the subject.
And what I'm thinking now is that it's not just for the betterment of the benefits of the opposition party. It is so that we can have a clear debate about it in the public. Like the masses will know about it and they have a clear debate, and then we'll be able to know, okay, this is why we are doing it. And it will make us smarter, like we have been discussing, like, because you know that, okay, this is why we cannot do it, and then there is an argument placed with it. We are already know.
For instance, now we are explaining the fact that a governor lost and he claimed to have spent 14 billion, which means all this capping thing is just on paper.
Yeah, on paper.
These are realities that we're supposed to explore. So these are things. Stop it.
I think Nigerians are lazy with intellectual conversations, and they will tell you, how does that affect the common man? That's the typical. How does that buy you a bag of rice? That's the typical lazy response that you get.
This tell you that a common man is not expected to compete and win in
Nigeria.
Nigeria.
They will say even if they reduce it by half, how does that help them in any way? So I think maybe they have a point that many people are just trying to survive and all of that. Maybe that's the reason.
The people that will help is that maybe you should be aware of how much you should ask for your votes next time you're in.
Maybe not 5K.
And not 5K, not 10K, because they are spending 15
billion.
billion.
Ogala and what?
They are spending 15 billion. Why not collect part of enough? Why not collect enough?
To be frank. To be but then, I don't know.
And then another thing is that I think there's the fact of anonymous donor can now donate 100 million. Anonymous donors.
Is that the case?
Yes, sir. Anonymous donors.
They don't need to before. They need to
move from 1 million to 100 million. 100x in this new act.
Before they have to collect.
Can we confirm this section?
You can confirm this section. Me, I've confirmed my own. If you are not
surprised.
Anonymous donor cannot donate.
No, but I did not find it. I wanted to.
Anonymous donor cannot donate 100 million.
It should be,
because what I saw about anonymous donation was that nobody should be allowed to donate anonymously to a political party.
No. Over 100 million.
Over 100 million.
So 99.9 million you can donate it.
So anonymous donor cannot donate 100 million.
I think what was just stated is that if anybody donates beyond 100 million, they have to take down your name.
So you can donate
anonymous donor can donate 100 million. That's what we are saying.
Let me confirm the section I'm talking about.
And then what's it called? Entities can donate up to 500 million or something like that.
Yeah. This
is money laundering in broad daylight. People can now move money through political parties.
Actually, an individual can donate up to 500 million.
Right?
That's if you want to disclose your details. But from 1 million to 100 million to 99.9 million, you do not have to donate to disclose your name.
This is money laundering in broad daylight. I can donate without disclosing my detail, and then they can help me funnel the money and use it to buy something from my company later, blah blah blah. This is things I can literally carve out the plan, the complete playbook for my clients.
Exactly.
So, for my clients.
They have a defense though. What they say is the logic behind that is that we shouldn't pretend that we live in a society where they weaponize the opposition are targeted. So in a sense, opposition will not debate that because it gives them more leeway for them to really raise money for election. In that, now if they trace it to your account, if they trace those kind of money to your account, they freeze it, they will put you in jail. Currently they will say there are many people that once you go to APC, your sins are forgiven. For instance, they said Stella Odua, she had 2 billion, Yeah, she had like $2 billion naira case. But when she got to APC, her sin is forgiven. The former governor of Delta, that was the VP to Atiku, he was having cases with EFCC. EFCC has suddenly not gone to his house since he became a member of APC. So in essence, it's a plus for the Senate in the opposition or the elite in the opposition not to even attack attack that.
Section 94, subsection 1 says a political party may not accept or keep in possession any anonymous monetary or other contribution, gift, or property from any source. Section 94, subsection 1. So it says a political party shall not accept or keep in its possession any anonymous monetary or other contribution, gift, or property from any source.
From any source.
Exactly.
No,
So which is why I'm
campaign.
No.
The one about campaign.
No.
because a political party shall keep an account, an assets book, into which shall be recorded all monetary
I don't
and
know the
other forms of contributions received by the party, and the name and address of any person or entity that contributes any money or assets which exceeds 100 million, which means that's when they need to keep the name and address. But otherwise, you cannot give them anonymously. You cannot still give them, which means they are still going to keep your name probably, but they don't need your address in that situation. That's what I'm seeing in this section 94. A political party shall not accept monetary or any control from an individual or organization which is more than the limit which is prescribed by the Commission under section 92, subsection 1 of this Act. So that's what I see here, which is why I'm surprised, because anonymous donation is direct money laundering. It's not even something to think about. That's just 90 million naira, cleaning 90 million, 99 million naira neat.
Check very well what the detail of the law is trying to say, because I know that the Act support anonymous donors. People that they don't need to disclose their name or whatever the details.
Just confirm section 94, subsection 1. Let's see, maybe we have the same document though.
Please double check.
Because it will be very shocking, honestly.
That's where I'm shocked too.
It will be very, very shocking. And the fact that nobody is talking about it. Maybe people don't have money to wash, yeah. Because I don't understand.
No, I mean more people have money to watch.
I mean a lot of people have money
How
to
come
watch.
everybody is joining City Boy movie?
Have you
Those are
confirmed
questions. I'm coming.
Okay.
I'm see. How come suddenly?
Because it will be shocking. It can't even
Actually, according to my source, it's saying there's no say anonymous is a forbidden word legally, right? And the law explicitly stated that there's nothing like anonymous when donating money to any political party, which means any party that finds any money in its account by any anonymous should report it or face the penalties.
Okay. So which one is now below 100 million and above 100 million?
I think it's for people that they take down their name and address. So if you go above 100 million, you have to drop your name and address.
But if you don't go above 100 million,
We expect that they will take your name, but they don't need your address.
okay, they will take your name,
But
but
they
they
Oh
don't
don't
yeah,
need
need
that.
check section 90, subsection 3.
It says absolute identification. No.
90, subsection 3. A political party shall grant to any officer authorized in writing by the Commission access to examine the records and audited accounts kept by the political party in accordance with the provisions of this Act, and political party shall give it to the officer.
Okay.
All such information as may be requested in relation to all contributions received by or on behalf of the party.
So what do they mean by take your name and not take your address?
No, I'm just assuming they are going to take your name because the subsection already says you cannot donate anonymously. Then the subsection 3 says you can donate. If you are donating above 100 million, they will take your name and address.
And so I'm not clear about something.
Okay.
The law in section 94(1) says that you must give your detail.
You know that you cannot be anonymous.
You cannot
Which
be
means that
anonymous.
they can know your name. That's what I'm assuming. Not being anonymous.
So
means.
why would they know your name and not know your address?
Address is not required. That's just what's clear. Address is not required for
you people
above
are
100
confusing me now.
million. Yeah.
It's your law. So I can donate without my address.
Once it's below 100, your address is not required. Once it's below 100 million.
Read that second part. So it's for my.
Let me read it.
If you are confused, I don't know whether somebody gets the confusion like this.
94.
Why do you say I cannot donate anonymous? Now I can donate with only my name.
94 says, 94 subsection 1, a political party shall not accept or keep in its possession any anonymous monetary or other contribution, gift or property from any source. That's 94 subsection 1.
No anonymous.
Subsection 2. Okay. A political party shall keep an account, an asset book, into which shall be recorded all monetary and all forms of contributions received by the party, and B, the name and address of any person or any entity that contributes any money or asset which exceeds 100 million naira.
So they don't need to keep record of the one that does not exceed 100 million. Is that what
It's ambiguous now.
No, I think what
It's
you don't need,
ambiguous
I
at
think
best
what
now.
we can at best assume is that you don't need the person's address.
Azaf? Did they specify the name before?
No, they did not specify the name, but anonymous also automatically means we know your name. Not as if something not being anonymous means that we know your name. That's the implication of
Calm
something
down.
not being anonymous.
Calm down.
Okay.
The law did not specify what it means for it to not be anonymous.
But I'm saying that if it's going to be
You cannot be
interpreted.
reading that into the law.
Okay. Well, how do we then interpret the law if we cannot
So let's take
determine what
one
anonymous
by
means?
one now. We
Okay.
cannot be reading that into the law.
Okay.
So
let's take it
what
one
is
by
the
one.
threshold for non-anonymosity? That's what we want to know. It's not specified here now.
No, the point is there is no anonymosity. That's the point. It's
So what
not.
is the
It is
threshold?
forbidden.
So what's the threshold? What does that constitute? What is asked of? If there's no anonymity, what is asked for that person?
That-
If ordinary you can collect money without the name and address. Is that not what he's saying?
No, it
That's
says
second.
the name
Read
and
the
address.
second one
The second
again
one just
yourself.
says the name and address is required.
The name is specifically mentioned.
Name and address
In
of
that
any
second
person
one.
or entity that will contribute.
Calm down, young
Okay,
man.
yeah.
The name and address is specifically mentioned
Of course.
in that
definitely.
second one.
Mhm.
So why you believing that one was present before and the other was not present?
No, my point is that anonymosity, that it
Young
says
man.
the anonymosity is
Young
impossible.
man, we don't have a definition of anonymity, right? We can both agree on that.
We have the dictionary contains the meaning of anonymosity.
We are not using dictionary, we are using law here now.
No, I know, but the law is everything that makes up the law is defined. Of course.
Young man, let's take the letter of the word for what it is. Let's use the literal interpretation of the law.
Yeah,
first.
which
Before
means
start
we
reading
interpret
this.
anonymous by what anonymous means, right? Good. Anonymous means has a name, and not anonymous means I know anonymous means something that does not have a name. We don't know the person. Good.
So now, the second part was not saying something.
That
Read that line again
Okay.
for us so that we take it by one.
So
then the
even-
second
sorry,
the B
please,
is saying the
even-
name and address, what will be recorded in an asset book. The name and address of any person or entity that contributes any money or asset which exceeds 100 million naira.
So a record book is expected to con name and address
Exactly.
of anything that is
100 million above.
So if that person not give us up to 100 million, what will not be in that book?
We don't need to contain the name and address. We don't need to have their name and address in our assets book. That's the meaning of
So
this.
what will
piece.
be there?
So what would
what
that
will
be?
be there?
I'm not going to assume it since it's not mentioned.
So why
But-
you not pretend as if
But what I'm
you know the
saying
definition
is
of
that
anonymous
what
before?
I'm saying is that our
Calm
statement.
down. Why
Okay,
you not pretend as if you know the definition of non-anonymous before?
no, the point I'm making is what we said was that anonymous donation is allowed, Abi.
No, I understand the point that we are getting to understand that the law.
So that's why I'm not assuming anything
that
anymore. I'm
said-
just taking it one step at a time now.
Uh-huh.
Like we are taking it one step at a time together
the
now.
record book said is where the demand for name and address is.
In an asset book.
For what?
Hmm?
For what?
In an asset book, 100 million
and
above. Exactly.
There is no such demand for things that are lesser than that.
Exactly.
So what will now be written where for things that are lesser than 100 million?
I don't know.
Which means a donor can give out 99 million without their name and address.
Address.
On the asset book. Abi.
Uh-huh.
But I agree with that.
So,
I do not agree with that.
so if we use
But
the word,
are we
Calm
going to
down,
say
calm down.
so if we
Calm
use
down.
the word dark money instead of anonymous
Mass money.
donation,
Mhm.
does that fit in?
see, I might not even argue with that because the point I'm making is that anonymous donation is forbidden by law in
Okay.
this act.
Okay. Anonymous
Because
donation.
anonymous donation
Now,
means
need
we
to
don't know who
identify
donated.
what they mean by that anonymous donation.
It means we don't know who donated.
So how do we know who donated? If
If
even
we are not collecting,
the requirement for putting them in the record
The name
is 100
and
million
address in
and above.
record in asset book
Mhm.
is 100 million
Yeah.
and above.
so which book will will ensure that they are not anonymous?
Must.
I don't know, and I'm not assuming for
So,
the political
Shebi-
party, but I know that the political party must present every single person that donated to them. That's what.
Is it
means
not
that
asset book?
They don't have to be.
Is it
I
not
mean,
asset book?
They are going to present.
Is it not asset book they
No,
will
if we go
present?
further, we will see that they said that
What is further, please? These are things
They
that I believe the opposition should be discussing.
any political party shall not accept any monetary or contribution from an individual or organization which is more than the limit which may be prescribed by the. Okay, no, not even that. Okay. I'm looking for the section that specifically mentions that they can check their record at any point. So
we know, but the record that they ask us to keep is for only people that have 100 million and above.
But that's an asset book. I think it was precisely called an asset book. I don't think that's the only
It's for
record
people
they
that
have.
are 100 million and above.
But I don't think that would be the only record we have.
Which other playbook are you using except from the Electoral Act?
I'm coming.
You have another playbook in your house?
I will refer to what I'm talking to.
Yeah. Refer us to it now. Let
So-
us
And you know what's funny to me?
So
here,
listen. So give it to
Okay.
Steve. So a political party shall grant to any officer authorized in writing by the commission access to examine the record. Not only the now note that it's not saying that the asset book or whatever, which means that the asset book was requested for by law for the people over 100
million.
The asset book is not equal to does not mean their record, their financial record.
and
So now,
Where are you reading all these things now?
This is section.
What do you mean
This
that
is
it's not only
section-
their record? Oh yeah, which other record is the law?
The law mentioned all their records generally, all their financial records in general. This is
which
it
one?
now in section 90. What am I? Section.
So the law you are asking me to submit things that you don't ask me to keep.
you know the funny part to me now is that the 2022 Electoral Act, it said every political party shall keep an account, an access book into which shall be recorded, blah blah blah, just like the new law. Now 93 says a political party shall not accept any monetary or other contribution which is more than 50 million naira unless it can identify the source of the money or other contribution to the commission. In 90 in this new law there is nothing like that.
There's no such.
There's nothing like that.
That means before anonymous donation was 90 what? Was 50 million. It was 49 million, right? That means in the previous one it was 49 million, right? But now, but you know that there is nothing like you cannot have anonymous donation.
Where?
In the
the
one
old
you were
act.
reading.
It
old
was
one.
there now. It
That
was
was-
there. It was there. What's it called? 91.
That-
He say a particular a 91 of the previous one. He say a political party shall not accept or keep in its possession any anonymous monetary or contribution,
Okay.
gift, property from any source whatsoever.
Good.
That's where they copied and pasted it on the new one.
Uh-huh.
So we are not saying that. I'm not saying that in 93 of the previous one, say a political party shall not accept. After saying in 92 that every political party shall keep an account or asset book into which shall be recorded all monetary and other forms of contribution received. Now, the names and address of any person or entity that contributes any money or assets which exceeds 1 million naira. 92. Now, 93 says a political party shall not accept any monetary or other contribution which is more than 50 million unless it can identify the source
That's not
of the
included in
money
this one.
or other contribution to the commission. Now it was removed from this one.
Yeah.
And that's what we are trying to point at, that wait, there's a foul play here.
There's a double speak here.
Yeah.
At least.
And number one, even the anonymity that they are talking about is it defined?
It's not defined.
No.
I'm
The
coming.
point is,
I'm coming.
it is very clear. I think we should at least be on the same page about this. That what we said earlier, that there's no anonymous donation, is not valid based on this act.
Well, of course.
I think.
based
Are
on-
we on the same page?
No. What we will say is that this. What the words of the what's it called?
We use
do
the
not-
word anonymous. It's very clear, and the act
That's
use
where
the
I'm
word
going.
anonymous.
That's where I'm going.
Okay.
The words of the act do not allow for anonymous donor. Despite the fact that the words of the act do not specify what that would constitute or not. That's what
Which
it
means that we will interpret it based on the general meaning of the word anonymity.
anonymity.
Which means
is
that
no identity.
with no identity.
Yeah. Then at the same time, the
In
act
effect.
still said that you can take money unless the thing that should be recorded are above 400 million.
Exactly. Which means you should have it on in your asset book or whatever.
Or account.
But you know that this does not imply that you can take money that you don't know where it came from, regardless. So which means that anything you want to do has to satisfy both demands. Which means that satisfy the first demand of it's not coming from a source we don't know.
No.
But and two, if it's more than 100 million, we have to record it in our access book. I think we cannot agree on that.
Now, yeah, at least we can agree on that. But the question is now that where is the platform for recording the one that we don't?
What's the utility of it?
So with the one that is below 100 million.
Where is it?
But at least the party knows the source. The party has to know the source. The party is required to know the source.
Because
but they don't need to record it.
But they don't need to. But they have to know the source.
Which means they don't need to present it.
They don't need to present it.
But no, we did not talk about the presentation part. Which is not here.
No, I don't worry. I will do what you are trying to the end.
Okay.
So which means they don't need to present it since the law do not account to record it.
They are not asked to represent.
We know our source.
But they are expected to know
we know our source. We know our source.
But they're expected to know the source.
Which
means that if they are requested to provide the source, they cannot say it's anonymous. They have to tell what
they cannot say it's anonymous, but they do not record it.
But they can say they did not record it, but they cannot say they don't know the source.
But we don't record
Very
it.
good. But they cannot say they do not know the source.
But we don't record it.
Yeah, but they cannot say they do not know the source.
We know the source.
So I'm just
Money
saying.
did not fly to our office.
Exactly. The money came from
the source is that somebody brought it.
No, you have somebody a source. That means you don't know the source. If you say somebody randomly brought it.
We do. You say I'm missing something.
Okay.
We know the source.
Very
the source
good.
brought it.
Which is exactly. You know the source. That's exactly what the act requires you to know.
We know the source.
So
which means that
the constitution does not
require
the electoral act does not require
record it. So we know the source because by the time we are collecting the money, we know the source.
Exactly. Very good. And which means that since you know the source, if you have to provide the source, you are going to be able to provide it. I'm just saying in case you ever get to any point where you are asked to provide the source.
Which provision said we should provide
the source?
I'm not saying there's a provision that says you should provide it.
Why are you reading what is not in the law?
What we are saying is that, okay, we have a situation where you are required by INEC to provide your source. What do you do?
Why
during auditing? Because they are allowed to audit. You are allowed
which
to audit
to ask. Audit one, is it not the recorded?
Are we saying that the Electoral Act does not have the INEC? Does not give the INEC power to audit.
Read the anything less than 99 million. Anything less than 100 million. Anything less than 100 million.
We don't need to. Wait. The Act does not give the record book. The Act does not give.
Election is a very complex activity. Let me give you my response as an election chairman. Election is a very complex activity. We know the sources that were destroying money to us, but since the law did not require us to record, we did not record this at the time.
So what we now audit?
Wait, I'm coming.
What we audit?
I'm coming. So what do we say about? So since we are saying that as long as it exceeds 100 million, they don't need to present it if they are required by INEC. So let me read something out. So
they present their record book and account book. That's what is required by law. And the law says it's only stuff that have 100 million that will be recorded.
So it says 3.
Yeah.
A political party shall grant to any officer authorized in writing by the commission access to examine the records and audited accounts kept by the political party in accordance with the provisions of this act.
Oh yeah.
And according to the provision of this act, what was it that we were required to do?
The provision of this act. Now, this one says every political party.
No, simple question. And according to the provision of this act, what was it that we were required to put down?
I'm coming.
Oh yeah.
So. And the political party shall give to the officer all such information as may be requested in relation to all the contributions received by or on behalf of the party. To all contributions received by or on behalf of the party.
Which one were we required to put down?
Is it not account?
I'm saying that. And
answer that question.
Which one were we required to put down?
I already agreed the one that was already. I'm not saying the one that.
So all these things are making what it will be subject to this detention in the court of law. Which means that while the playbook of this election is at play, a lot will go on under all this double speak. These are things that we are hoping the opposition will question. If you want more auditing, if you want it, put it in better words.
Transparency.
If you want more transparency, put it in better words. If you want
because they were there before it was passed.
I know that this could be worded better. I know this could be worded better. I definitely agree that this could be worded
You said you
much
want
better.
non-anonymous. Like let me
But
explain.
I know that
Calm down. Let me explain this. You said you want non-anonymous donors.
Yeah.
Yet you tell us that it's only the one above 100 million we should write down.
Okay.
So what are you saying?
That you should write down. Yeah, that
And
you
you
should write
say
down.
that what
it's
you will
not like-
audit, and you
it's
say
not
that
like-
what you will audit is
You are-
the account.
No, it says what we audit are what this act guarantees, and all contributions to his part. They did not end there. The provision did not end there. That's why I'm saying that this kind of claim we have a hard time in court because
What do you mean
it was not because they were also given even apart from what was
No,
expected. They were given all contributions. They were
Let me
expected
give
to.
you this. It's something you are not getting.
It's in accordance.
It's according to the act.
At the end of
And
the day,
it did not end there. That's my problem.
Calm down.
Okay.
Which means
Mhm.
it is non-criminal for us to say that this is what we recorded and we make it available. So, of course, you check every other thing. You can check every other thing. Check it if you can check.
You will get
Anything
to
you can find.
the
Calm
problem is,
down.
okay.
There's way you don't know. This financial crime, the way it is being played out is exactly like this. You say you can audit everything, no wala. Check everything.
This is our record.
This is our
they
record.
can check.
And if I now ask, why is all this other money not recorded? By the provision of the act, we are not meant
They
to
will
record
agree
it.
with
So
you
go
that
for it.
yes, we
So
understand
what you are
that.
thinking is that you are assuming that the money that will be laundered will be due by bank transfer.
That what I'm now saying is that what
Young
I'm not
man,
saying
you
is
are not
that
getting my point. What you are doing is that you believe that money that will probably be laundered will go through bank transfer that you cannot say we give us
We
your bank
audit your
statement
bank
or something. The real money that we launder will not go through those means.
exactly.
We not go back go
In
through those means.
purchases,
They will go run through in purchases in things and whatever. So they will not go through those
In
means that you
gifts.
think. So since the law did not say that they should keep proper record of those ones too, they will present what they kept record of simply. It's not that complicated.
So-
And they will not be culpable of anything since the law did not say that.
they must. But I'm just saying that. But they can be.
And this is how they will be doing.
But are we saying they can't be
This is how
required
they will
to?
do it.
and the law
Okay,
already
so we
exempt
recorded
them
that.
since it's accordance
So
to
what
the.
we are saying is that, of course, maybe the letter of the phrase in anonymous money is not what we should say. But this is the playbook, clear playbook for
Listen.
that money.
If we want to launder money, we are saying that it's still possible. But
It's not that it's
We
possible.
are
It
saying
is
that
licensed.
this license
License.
practice. It's making a broad daylight practice
Practice.
for you to go to launder money through electoral parties.
It's
Now
not
look
make-
at us debating for minutes over
this.
What do you think a judge or whatever will be how do you think 7 sitting there on this court of appeal judge or tribunal court judge will be confused about by the time they want to interpret this? And they started taking different angle from different laws for this to look at the subject matter. It will be so complicated and they will do like this. It's what the law say we should record that we recorded.
So,
I get.
We recorded it. We know them now. We know them when they brought the money. But then
the previous
We did not
law was
record.
We no
clear.
longer have the. record.
The previous law was not
The
ambiguous.
previous one was very clear on the ground that any money that is above 50,
so 49
that is below
million is
50,
what you
49
can
million,
do
you
whatever
can do
with.
whatever with.
Yeah, this one 100.
100.
This thing is
They
bigger.
just created a bigger pot for potential money, mathematics and
Money are claiming.
and magic. That's what we are talking about. Just,
And one other thing that I'm seeing now is the
even you as a judge, you can see what we are doing.
Yeah,
That
nah.
people
I know,
you
I know,
are-
And you know mischief that is right there. That
we
is
can see
working.
the mischief.
Yeah,
There.
nah.
We can see the mischief.
But then
there.
what would the judge use?
You know, by the law. You know, by the letter of the law.
They
there's
gave
no
us
any-
cash.
But I get the actual issue. Although I feel like in a real court they might still be forced to present
Forensic.
I
pass
guess
forensic
they might
wey
be
they want
required.
do.
They might be required
when
to
you do the forensic.
present
Yeah,
their entire.
Oh, yeah,
when
The
you
only thing they can do is that if they present us, Mr. Raji gave us 10 million. Mr. This thing gave us, even though one person gave them 90 million, they can break it into 20 pieces and say Mr. This, Mr. That, Mr. That gave us.
And
So
in fact, that
still-
will bring us
that
to the
means they can
conversation
still-
of
they can
support
still-
group that we're discussing with the other day that
That
is easily
this man donated 50 million naira. This man gave us 10 million naira in cash. Somebody that never give them anything.
Anything.
So they can do that. It's easy to.
All the political party member can become contributors.
and they distributed
They just say we crowdfunded 90 million from a particular. They don't need to. But we have to take them for their word.
You
At that
have to take
point.
them for their. That's the problem. That's what, even the requirement of address and name self for 100 million above is low
No
level.
BVN, no
data.
NIN,
Because
no
if you are-
all of
if you
those.
are taking address and name, they can somebody might donate money and then he will write the name as someone else.
Yes.
So which means that if you are talking about money laundering, even that does not solve the money
Money
laundering
laundering problem. Not talk of the one that they were not even specified.
In
to
a
put
country
anything
where
down.
we have cases of someone bearing a short
don't do.
and some other name that won't mention.
Imagine. So you understand the country. Is this a playbook? And the problem I'm having in particular here is that why are all of this not tabled by the opposition? Are
At
they
all.
not having that head to think of these things?
Because it
Because
does not
as-
matter if they will do it. It only matters that
You expose,
it's
you
against
talk about
the
you
opposition.
let
no.
people know that you are active, you are watchdog.
And then Section 89 says a political party that owns or possesses any fund outside Nigeria in contravention of Section 225 of the Constitution commits an offence and shall, or on conviction, forfeit the fund or asset purchased with such fund. Now, the B says retain any fund. Okay, a political party that retains any fund or other assets remitted to it from outside Nigeria in contravention of Section 225 of the Constitution commits an offence and shall, on the conviction, forfeit the fund or assets to commission and blah blah.
Are they saying that Nigerians in diaspora cannot talk?
I think that's the question. And I know that the people in the opposition party they usually pay very much attention to the fact that okay, they have people that are bringing money from.
I didn't follow. It's like I missed something. Is that the case?
I'm just trying to see what's the
Or
law.
is it
I'm
they
reading
owning it or collecting it? Is that?
He said retain any
cannot collect
fund
money
or
from
other
abroad.
asset remitted to it from outside Nigeria in contravention of Section 225. Let me read this.
Or
Section
is it
225. The Section 225.
I don't understand. Is it that these are what is
An
that?
Electoral Act is just
As in, you not get senator for house.
For house?
They passed all of this, nothing. Maybe
the
it's
Electoral
oppose.
Act is just enforcing that what is already in 1991 Section 225
Yeah,
explicitly
225.
states
What
that
does 225 say?
no political party is allowed to hold any money in a bank account outside Nigeria,
Bank.
keep any assets like houses located in countries, keep any money that was remitted, sent wire to them from abroad.
There's no Section 225 in Electoral Act.
No, Constitution.
Okay, of the Constitution.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, where the Constitution was talking about political parties.
Yes, in
okay.
Constitution.
Yeah.
It is the Constitution.
So they cannot collect money from
outside.
Okay.
Or to a bank outside.
No. It's like three subsection. Hold any money in a bank account outside Nigeria.
One.
Keep any assets located in other countries.
Okay. Two.
Keep any money that was remitted to them from abroad.
So no foreign funding.
Are we saying no foreign funding?
Is that foreign?
There are no exceptions.
Is
that not what it
exceptions?
is?
Can Nigerians abroad remit?
And though that means simple now, they will just so that they won't contravene it.
They will
They
send
will
money to
go there, and then
Nigerians.
they send it to Nigeria,
Nigerians
and then
will
from
then
Nigeria they will not
send
send
it
it
to them.
to them.
Yeah.
to the
Solves it. It won't be a big issue.
That's not a big issue
It won't
anyway.
be a
But
big
that's
issue.
not a issue.
But for I don't know why. So I think it's to stop foreign. Is to retain
Foreign
our
influence.
sovereignty
yeah.
in a sense, so that foreign
Foreign
so we
influence,
go
yeah.
and do all of that.
So if you
Yeah,
are
all
really a
money from-
Nigerian abroad,
Uh,
what the best thing you can do to support your political party is to remit to your brothers or siblings here in Nigeria, and then they support your political party, so that you don't put your political party in jeopardy too.
Right.
So now, any other thing that we should follow about the money problem, because I think
And 500 million cap for entities. We've not discussed. it.
there's 500 million naira for entities
Because of course the Kama Act it contravenes the fact that normal companies cannot donate. Even NGOs cannot are
Donate.
forbidden to donate to political parties and all that. But the law is silent about support groups because they are not actual entities, registered by the CAC. So that means with all this, with the resurgence of BAT 2759, I mean, what's the name of that campaign group? This one, the City Boy movement, that sudden billionaires from Southeast are now garnering interest in suddenly. You understand? They are now joining in. So the question will now be that, is there a foul play here? Is it because of the 500 million cap that you can easily now, disperse through this means? Those are questions. I'm not saying that's the case.
That's what's
for
case, but
this.
those
I'm
are
not saying
questions.
these are questions.
At least the opposition should be raising
be
and
asking
putting in
this.
the mind of people. You understand?
So that what that means in effect is that me or anybody that's not interested in winning an election will just set up and contest under one cover party or one useless party,
one
and they
party.
have a support group, and then they will be
They'll be using
donating, they'll
it to
collecting donation
wash
up
it
and
out.
down.
Like the entire business of political parties is an instrument of money laundering.
Exactly.
You get-
So now, I know that the opposition are failing, but maybe it's the failure of the opposition that is not making the current administration to talk about the things that were achieved with the new act, because there are some things like early voting that were introduced, image
Yes,
voting.
image
Let's
voting.
look into that in this week.
I think those things really advanced our democracy. That's my honest point of view about those things. Because we say we are practicing
So
democracy.
image voting, what does it mean?
Image voting means that people that are in jail,
Mhm.
they can actually
Now vote.
now you can now vote.
So previously, people that are in prison are not.
they were disenfranchised.
And is it
being-
in process or they already passed it in this?
This is
They are
It's
passing
already
the new
passed.
act.
The president signed
President
it
already
within
signed it.
24 hours.
It's already in law now.
President already signed it.
So inmates now are flooding into the polling.
So they will have what's the name? I'm sure there will be a logistics for them because
them.
it will not have to
Such
mean that they can come out and everything. But the thing is that first, maybe they are going to move where we get those cards. Maybe they will go to prisons and everything.
Okay.
And then they get their
Voters
voters card.
card too.
And then on election day they vote or whatever.
That
the case
means
may be.
they will take polling vote to those
To
prisons.
those places too. And what I found interesting about it is that it's actually true that constitutionally they were not disenfranchised. They were merely incarcerated.
Dead.
So when somebody is incarcerated and then we take away their right to
Vote.
their political right, it's not fair at all. When we are talking about early voting too, is a good way to reduce disenfranchisement because some people, especially students and those kind of other people that are actually that tend to be in a situation where they won't be in a place where they can vote on election day. I think that will solve their problem too. And as a result, I expect that we'll be seeing more voter turnout in Nigeria. The way we see in many more functional, I'm not saying perfect democracy, but more functional democracies, there used to be higher voter turnout. So I think we should expect
You
higher
are
voter
smiling.
turnout.
You want to talk about
Well, while I agree that it's a good innovation, but then I think it's overrated. This especially the first one you talked about, the inmate voting, because already, of course, Section 39, like you said, guarantees the freedom, of that. But then, if you look at 2014 judgment by using one Victor versus INEC, like 6 inmates took INEC to court and said they should vote, and the court already said, yeah, the INEC is contravening their rights and they should be voted. So that means INEC has been in contempt of the court
for years.
Yes.
You understand? So even the court has set our precedent. You understand? And, that wasn't the best. Of course, kudos. It is now done. Now,
I think now it has even more teeth for logistics.
Yeah.
No.
That's another
No,
advantage.
why
Because
do
not
I-
backed by budget.
Yeah.
now when you said, the people we have higher turnout just because of this. We only have 80,000 inmates in Nigeria.
No, I
I'm
mean the
coming.
ten
Wait,
votes
I'm
in
coming.
Nigeria.
Sorry, I'm coming. 60% of them are still awaiting trial. Only 20-something thousand. Let me check those data. Let me check those data again. Let's fact check it again. 60% of them are awaiting trial. They've not been prosecuted. So in recent, for real, they should have the right to vote. At least those 60%, they deserve the right to vote since they've not been convicted. But then, it's just 80,000. So to say that it will increase the voter turnout out of how many million votes in general is infinite. Is not
Insignificant.
is insignificant.
But early voting. What do you
Now,
think about that one?
for early
I
voting,
think because opposition are failing, even this administration cannot come out and say we achieved this.
we achieve this milestone. Now, for early voting, is a welcome development.
What
Good
is that
one.
about?
In fact, when I saw,
are the early voters?
and I spoke with a policeman, he said, for the first time, you'll be able to vote and all of that. I said, okay, good. Now, the challenge, the what is it about? Is the fact that, okay, people that are doing essential services, like police, army, and all of that does not vote, and then they have the right to vote in recess. But every 4 years, because they have to be at the polling unit to ensure there's order and all of that. Even all these officials that we run those stuff, they can't vote.
Okay.
But now they will be able to
Vote.
do early voting and then go and
What
run
does it
the
mean for them
logistics.
to do early voting?
That is something like, let me check if I'm wrong, but I think something like 3 days ahead,
I think like
they'll be able to
7
do the
days.
vote. Or 7 days ahead, few days before the election, they will have done it before they go to
They
their.
have vote their
Sorry, we
vote.
might
Yeah.
need to confirm the early voting. I'm not sure it's.
If you okay, I mean.
You are not sure what?
I'm not sure it's part of the.
I know it's
No,
provided.
this one may not be full. This electoral hat that you are with, it may not be full. Some people are still saying they've not provided us every of the provision that is not yet publicly available. I don't know how long it will be for them to really make everything publicly available. So I think it's not complete yet.
Okay.
So now, this one that is publicly available is not
Okay.
complete yet. Even our governor, what's his name? Makinde was still saying that nobody has a copy of
Oh, of
the electoral act that they already signed, blah blah blah, and all those was. So I think I don't know maybe there's a timeline whatsoever. Now on the early voting thing, the real challenge now is that what will happen? We are saying that we are having issues with electoral rigging and kwanko. We've had cases of people who go and steal ballot box. So you've given people 7 days and 3 days enough to steal,
Advance.
to snatch the ballot box in advance. You understand? Those are questions that I expect the opposition to
start
talk
raising.
about. That this
Because
early
the funny thing
voting.
is that the so-called rigging and stealing of ballot are done by these essential workers. So
To be frank, it's in collaboration with them.
yeah, oftentimes.
Now, what
INEC
happens within those
officers,
7 days? What happens?
Police officers.
And these are people that are supposed to.
I was like, with that, won't the case be that election is done and over before we will start?
Solid argument.
like the one Trump was claiming in US
That
happened.
election has been, concluded and
Georgia.
Yeah.
before we will
Because
get
they
there.
count their votes in US after they've counted the vote of the day. So when you had vote, I see your people come outside for you feel like we have won this one, and then all of a sudden you start seeing them bringing some early votes
Mailing
and,
votes.
and they are blue.
Stop the can. Stop the can.
Mailing votes. Mailing votes. And
Those-
it's blue.
those
blue.
votes are earlier.
Yeah.
And then you like as our people on
Exactly my
ground.
point.
So, so is that not giving room for abracadabra?
Bruh.
We saw that certain political party won in what's it called, in Rivers State. Everybody was like, this is a miracle of the century. How did they attain that? People are still asking that question.
I was wondering how did they attain
Now
that?
imagine if they had
Even the
this.
person that won the election, I
Eh.
won't mention the name, that is Ashwaju Bola Ahmed, I won't mention. He's saying that he does his heart for the person that delivered that election. He's saying that. Now, what will happen within those timelines? Those are cogent conversations that we should have. So as much as they sound sexy on paper, what are we saying
What do
about it?
they imply in
But
reality?
let me
And
realize
to be
because-
frank, is an existential threat to the opposition party, because you don't have the control of the apparatus of government.
exactly. Commander-in-chief of
Your
the
armed forces.
Commander-in-chief of the armed forces.
And now he's signing it within 24 hours.
You know,
Yeah.
and his commander
Commander.
his
They are
boys
doing early voting.
have to vote before even us. They have capacitated the votes and capacitated the votes before even we start.
I don't have issue, with it, because I'm of the ruling party.
Card carrying member.
I'm a card carrying member for that matter. So, but your laws, opposition
I
party,
don't
your
understand
laws.
why they are not
Even
discussing
we
this.
are carrying more than they believe.
I don't understand. I don't know. Maybe they are
Maybe
knowing
this
them
will get her,
And the funny thing with this opposition party people is that before the bill got to the president's table, they were protesting Abuja that they should pass the bill. They should get the
They should
bill.
not.
No, they should pass the bill.
No, they say they should change the part of real-time transmission. They should make sure that it's real-time, not that it's at the discretion of INEC. That's what they were pushing for that time. And then Abari Bay, some people were even walking out of house of assembly. So there are more cogent stuff like that, existential threat to your life that you didn't talk about. Shame on you.
The shortening of timeline too that we mentioned briefly the other time. It was very pressing to them. Some of them are
He's
not.
putting them in confusion
risk.
states right now. They removed. We've not even talked about delegate voting. The way they remove.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about
We must not forget it.
Delegate, no more delegate.
Let me tell
That
you,
is your battle.
I have one like close to hands-on experience of delegate voting when I was in Abuja. I think that was 2019 election, and one man was telling us, we call him ambassador. He was a former ambassador or something like that. And man was telling us about how he went for delegate. I think it was at Rivers State, or something like that. And how this person came in and they were sharing money and blah blah, and they were getting money and they believed they would get money. And then Atiku came in and I was spending dollars.
Add
$50.
Add currency.
Add currency.
And when immediately they saw that, they knew that that was the person that was going to be the candidate of the. And that stuff was very, very, very. That was the first time I was hearing about something like that. I was like,
But no more delegates. Good thing about it. What do you think?
So, because for me now, my question is, if we remove delegates, right?
Yeah.
But there is still consensus.
okay.
So I'm like, is it?
Because at the end of the day,
Who are the people that are going to do
the
that are going
consensus.
to make it consensus, even if you have removed delegates?
I think that would be
Delegate
party
voting.
leaders, right?
This delegating and the fact that there's consensus, they are not one and the same. Because I believe that if they are standing opposing candidates, then there cannot be a consensus. I think that's what the law is trying to say.
Yes.
If I'm standing that no, I'm also contesting. There's nothing like we contest. Because at the least, I'm standing that I'm contesting. So which means there's nothing like we have a consensus. Unless you guys are really giving me something that make me say, okay, I concede. So I think that's
one of the
space
reasons
for
why
consensus.
I'm thinking about it this
If
way.
a party can reach a consensus, some parties, when Labour Party was LP, there's no way they are not going to reach consensus almost instantly. They are star witness, they are star fighter, they are everything is B2B. So, so it's easy. But if they are standing people, they are going to be, so,
I remember in 2023.
ABCD there, let's do consensus. It should be not. Then Tinubu comes, Nibo, where? And then they squashed it, despite that they announced that. You get so there will be an internal rift. It for a consensus candidate to proceed. It means there's no powerful enough force within the party
that is going against
it. Power enough like to challenge what the leader of the party is doing. Although I know perhaps what you are saying is that during Obasanjo's period, we call what's it called? We visit the chairman. What's the chairman of the party? They will serve him. He said they serve him. He serve him, chop him, finish, and give the guy what he should sign that he's resigning as chairman of the political party because he was about giving one person edge over preferred Obasanjo's candidate. And then they said they will slam him one EFCC lawsuit or something like that. Then the guy said, okay. He resigned and then he installed his own preferred and then that one quickly gave Yaradua the ticket.
Wow.
So perhaps that's part of what
but although that could still even happen even if you have delegates also. But what I was thinking is that who are the people deciding?
Delegates is just a way to enrich some party members.
These delegates, me, I could have been a potential delegate because I'm a card.
Yeah, I think the 2023 one.
This was local government.
We hear rumors of how much each people are being paid.
Yeah,
the delegates that voted for, of course, there are rumors.
I think it's a good one. At least there will be lesser pressure on the dollar.
And then they will stop affecting our economy. And then there is this thing that they cancel using forgery of paper and everything as a way to attack somebody in court and cause over their candidates. That is, if you say they forged their exam or forged their exam, it's no longer a valid what's it called against their candidates. Is that we consider that a good thing?
All those things they just waste the court time in a sense.
Personally, I think election matters in general. They waste court time.
Let's hear what. Let's hear what. Let's focus on real
maybe
stuff.
We should fix our
the
INEC.
political party.
Maybe we should work on our INEC and political parties. Maybe political parties should go and work on themselves.
Exactly.
Then we should work on INEC. We should do everything to make INEC accountable, everything.
And INEC should thorough. If they present you a candidate, you should have done the background check whether they're
exactly. So
there's no good technical.
Why are we funding INEC so much?
Why are we not
funding INEC so much if we want them to still be plugging cuts with? If we want it to still be cuts that we decide that this is your president, this is your governor, this is your. Why are we?
That's what I'm saying.
INEC?
That I think because the watchdog are not watching anything, it doesn't allow the bulldog to do anything. It doesn't allow them to come up and tell us about why they make all these decisions into the new law and all of these things. And their shorter submission deadline, they can do, and then mandated membership registration. I don't understand what's that about.
Digital.
What?
Membership registration.
Okay.
That is, they should send it to the INEC. Okay, once you are registering your people. Apart from just having a physical register, have a digital register that you can probably upload to their portal so that they will have a list of every member of your party. So they will be able to
21
days before you have your primary.
Primary.
There won't be the name of when they removed my name, they removed this person's name, or they didn't remove this person's name. For instance, Dan was talking about Amechi's case the other time that his name, he won the primary.
Yes.
But for some reason or the other, they removed his name from.
Because the then president believed there was K-leg with the primaries.
So all those nonsense, internal party, this thing, that's what they are trying to. But then I don't understand the shorter time frame
for everything.
For
No, I think 21 days, it may look shorter, but actually it's closer to
the election,
the event.
to the
And I think
primary.
it makes more sense to those events.
Okay.
It makes more sense.
Not
It says
only
that
primary, it's generally.
generally 90 days, rather than 180 days, and you have more things to add.
Okay.
You know,
okay,
if you have
okay.
submitted 180 days, then a whole 180, and then there's still more people that want to join. If you have submitted, like, say, 90 days before the primary, like, and a lot of things may want to change before that 90 days, so you will not be able to do much anymore.
Now,
So making it shorter actually is profitable to the parties. Because that way, 21 days to the primary. It's not like 90 days to the primary. 90 days to the primary, like, you want us to coordinate all our affair 90 days ahead of time.
they will have
But
enough
now,
time
you have all time to coordinate your affair before the actual event.
Okay.
So that it's more, but it creates more time
Okay.
for the party, not like
Okay.
shorter time for the
Okay.
party. It just brings the event and the one are closer to each other. So there's something like the
Yeah.
only thing is that it creates lesser room for people to fight, to instigate lawsuit or anything.
They don't. The INEC is trying to. The lawmakers are trying to remove that. Now, they say when you cry over speed milk, and when you start top dice, what do they call it? Is it postmortem? They say they write.
Yes, the right person.
This current crop of opposition, they like writing postmortem. During the time that the electoral bill was still a debate,
Was in the house.
I didn't hear anything about this part until after. It's then that ADC spokesperson was not saying this. Bolaji Abdullahi was not saying that that whole thing, it was against them. That the APC had enough time.
In the house.
I'm coming. They
Was
have
it
enough
not
time.
gazetted? What happened?
As in, what were your lawmakers doing in the house?
I don't understand.
What exactly were they doing there?
They are watching movie.
And that they
Or
said
sleeping.
they didn't. The APC has been registering and their own people for a long time on their portal. Now they are giving them shorter time to have a digital registrar, and that's why they are having glitches. Like someone registered Putin on ADC's electoral portal because they are not validating with NIN. So according to them, they say they have shorter time to prepare, to
What are
build
they
a
talking
system,
about?
to build what. So no yes, say there's a gazetted bill, or what exactly are you
What
saying?
are you talking about?
I
Before a
mean,
bill, there are about 9 or 10 stages before a bill becomes a act.
before it gets to the president,
So what are you talking about? So ladies and gentlemen, I think we have explored some part of the.
we didn't
new
talk
electoral
about the death of a candidate and so.
No, I think we briefly talk about it. That death of the candidate. That's why we mentioned.
I briefly mentioned.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
the death of the candidate. Now you there's a lot of provisions in there that disbar all the previous precedent in that likes. So I think that should be all for now. If we have any other thing to discuss, maybe we'll get to discuss it later on. If there are things that we fact check during the course of the video, we are going to put it on the screen. And ladies and gentlemen, stay at large. I don't understand the kind of opposition that we have in Nigeria right now. ADC, Action Group, or the
Labour
Accord,
Party.
please, you people should just come and have your sense. You guys should be active. And I believe that the current opposition party don't have the energy. They don't have the disposition. They don't have the positioning of someone that want to take over power. There's no that. We cannot even rally behind them. They don't know that energy of somebody, a group of people that know what they are doing. That people can now go behind them.
The
There are
funny
many
thing is,
reasons.
which
They are
party
part
is which party is even the major opposition party?
Right now.
Is it ADC that one of their major candidates is still a card carrying member of Labour Party?
You see.
So it's quite funny. So they
Another thing is that they don't have the moral high ground too. Some of them were part of APC. In fact, I think he's a founding member of the current APC. Now he's at ADC. Now, if you look at the likes of Tinubu, that were the face of opposition for the longest period, he has always been in opposition before he got in. So he's, that attitude is there.
They need, like you said, they need the past question and the playbook from the president. With that being said, today is the president's
Birthday, oh, yeah.
So happy birthday to
Happy birthday,
number one
Jagaban.
Nigeria. No other person than President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR of Nigeria. We wish you long life and prosperity. We are with you till 2031. Long live the president. We'll see you all in the next episode.